Nobody warned David Park that the new senior marketing director would be the man who destroyed him 3 months ago, and clearly had no intention of apologizing for it. The elevator doors slid open on the 42nd floor, and David stepped inside, balancing his coffee and tablet while mentally preparing for another soul-crushing Monday. The merger had everyone on edge. Budgets were being slashed, and rumors of layoffs circulated like poison through the office. "Hold the door!" David's hands shot out reflexively. The doors jerked open, and a man stepped inside. Tall, lean, wearing a charcoal suit that looked like it cost more than David's car. The scent hit him first. Expensive cologne, cedar, and something darker. Something that triggered a memory David had spent 3 months trying to bury. No. Their eyes met. Those eyes. Dark, intense, the same ones that had watched him come apart 3 months ago, that had promised him things in the dark that vanished with the morning light. David Park. Not a question, just his name, spoken in that voice. Deep, controlled, with just enough gravel to make David's spine straighten involuntarily. Mr. Yamada. Shun Yamada. The man who kissed them like drowning and David was air. The man who held them afterward with unexpected tenderness, fingers tracing patterns on his skin while they talked until David fell asleep feeling safe for the first time in years. The man who was gone when he woke up. The elevator doors closed with a soft hiss, sealing them in together. "So you do work here." Shun's voice will stiffen now. Professional, detached. Small world. Or did you already know? David kept his eyes on the ascending floor numbers. Doesn't matter. That night was a mistake anyway. Was it? The question was casual, almost bored, but David caught the edge underneath. Because I distinctly remember you begging me not to stop. Sheet flooded David's face. Anger and humiliation and something worse. Don't. Relax, Park. What happened stays between us. Though I should mention, you'll be working directly under me on the Hendrix campaign. David snapped his head toward him. "Excuse me?" "Under my supervision. I specifically requested you. Your work on the Jensen account was impressive. Find someone else." "No. Simple, final. You're the best digital strategist in this building." "Personal complications?" David repeated slowly, tasting the bitter words. "Is that what we're calling it?" Shun's eyes met his fully. They were cold as January rain. "What would you call it? A one-night stand with someone whose last name you didn't even know? You're an asshole." "I've been called worse." The elevator chimed. 42. "My office, Friday, 4 o'clock. Don't be late." Tuesday, 2:47 a.m. David gave up on sleep around 2. His phone buzzed on the nightstand. Unknown number. "Stop working. I can see your apartment light from here. You need sleep." David's heart stopped. Somewhere out there, Shun was watching him. "How do you know where I live?" "Unknown number. Employee records. I requested you specifically." "That's creepy." "Unknown number. That's thorough. There's a difference." David stared at his phone. He should block the number. Should report this to HR. "David, why did you leave?" The 3 dots appeared immediately. Unknown number. "Because staying scared me more than leaving." "David, that's a coward's answer." Unknown number. "I never claimed to be brave. Not about you." "David, I'm nothing special." Unknown number. "You're wrong. I made you feel that way. I'll regret it for the rest of my life." "David, pretty words don't fix anything." Unknown number. "I know. Actions do. That's why I came back." "David, you came back for work." Unknown number. "I came back for you. I turned down 2 better offers to take this position. Because 3 months ago, I met someone who made me feel alive. For the first time in years. Someone who fell asleep in my arms, trusting me completely. And I panicked and ran because I couldn't handle how much I wanted to deserve that trust." David sat heavily, phone clutched in shaking hands. Unknown number. I spent 3 months trying to forget you. Then I saw this position open up, saw your name in the roster, and I knew this was my chance to do it right. David, you don't even know me. Unknown number. I know you take your coffee black with 1 sugar. I know you have a scar on your left shoulder from a bike accident when you were 12. I know you're terrified of being left, so you leave first. I know you think you're easy to forget, when the truth is, you're impossible to forget. David's eyes burned. David, this doesn't change anything. Unknown number. Then let me prove it. Friday, 4 o'clock. Give me a chance to do this right. David, and if I don't want to give you a chance? Unknown number. Then I'll respect that. I'll keep things strictly professional, but I'm hoping you'll be brave enough to take a risk on someone who's finally learned that some people are worth the fear, that you're worth the fear. David turned off his phone, but he fell asleep thinking about those words. You're worth the fear. Wednesday, 11:30 a.m. The all-hands meeting was exactly as painful as David anticipated. Then Shun walked in and the room fell silent. He commanded attention without trying. His suit was maybe perfectly tailored, making him look like he'd stepped out of a magazine spread about powerful men who'd ruin your life. He said, I've reviewed all your current projects. A few are genuinely impressive. His gaze landed on David. Park, the Jensen account. Walk me through your thinking. Every head turned toward David. David cleared his throat. The client wanted traditional digital ads, but the target demographic was oversaturated. I proposed experimental marketing, pop-up installations, Instagram-worthy moments that felt organic. And the results. 37% increase in brand awareness, 22% bump in sales. Client renewed at triple the original budget. Something flickered in Shun's expression. Approval. What made you confident enough to push back? I wasn't confident. I was right. The words came out before I could stop them. Confidence is about feeling. Being right is about data. Shun's lips curved. Fair distinction. After the meeting, people filed out quickly, but Shun's voice cut through. Park. A word. The room emptied. They were alone. That was good work, Shun said quietly. I wanted to apologize. That threw him. For what? The elevator, Monday. I was trying to maintain control of a situation that scared me. I handled it poorly. Why are you telling me this? Because I meant what I said about doing this right. Shun's voice was honest. I came back for you. The job was secondary. 3 months ago, I met someone extraordinary, and I was too much of a coward to stay. I'm not running anymore. You can't just say things like that. Why not? Shun's eyes were intense. You don't get to leave and expect me to just forgive and forget. No, I expect you to be angry. I expect you to make me work for every inch of ground I gain back. That's fair. His voice was steady. But some people are worth fighting for. You're worth it. David's breath caught. You don't know me. Then let me learn. Let me prove I can stay when things get hard. David stared at him, his heart hammering. Friday, 3 o'clock. We'll talk about Hendrix. Just Hendrix. Understood. And Shun, prove it through actions, not words. Friday, 2:47 p.m. David stood outside Shun's office at 2:47, wearing the black button-down that Jen said made him look unfairly attractive. He knocked once. Come in. The office was stunning. But what stopped David was the conference table covered in food. Sushi from Yamato, Thai food from his favorite restaurant, homemade desserts. Shun stood by the window, looking uncharacteristically uncertain. What is this? Insurance. Shen's smile was self-deprecating. I didn't know what you liked, so I got everything. You said actions matter more than words. So, action 1 is making sure you eat. You've been skipping lunch all week. David moved closer, chest tight. This is manipulation. No, this is me caring whether you've eaten today. Shun's voice was soft. You can accept the food and still hate me. I don't hate you. What do you feel then? Angry, confused, scared. David finally looked at him. Of wanting something I can't have, of getting hurt again. What would being right about me mean? That you're just another person who'll leave when things get hard. And being wrong? That you're actually here, that I could trust you. Shun moved to the table, filled a plate, and brought it to David like an offering. Eat first, talk after. Don't tell me what I need. You're right, I'm sorry. I default to controlling situations because uncertainty makes me anxious, but I'm trying to let you control things. David studied him, this powerful man who looked genuinely vulnerable. Why do you care so much? Do you want the truth or something that won't scare you? The truth. Because 3 months ago, I spent 6 hours with you and felt more alive than I had in my entire marriage. Because when we made love, you held my face in your hands and looked at me like I was something precious. No one's ever looked at me like that. It terrified me because I knew you could destroy me without even trying. David's breath caught. So you ran. I convinced myself it was just chemistry, just a moment. But it wasn't. It was the first time I'd ever genuinely connected to another person. I've spent 3 months trying to replicate it and failing because the problem was that I wanted it specifically with you. David's hands trembled. You can't just say things like that. Why not? You asked for truth. Because this is complicated. Yes, but I'm done pretending complications mean something isn't worth having. I stopped a foot away. Every instinct says protect myself, maintain distance. But I can't do that with you. David closed his eyes. I need you to understand something. That night, I don't do things like that. I don't go home with strangers. Everyone leaves eventually. My dad left when I was 8. Every boyfriend left. I learned that caring is just setting yourself up for abandonment. David, but with you, it was different. I didn't want to maintain distance. I wanted to know everything. And when we went back to your hotel, I wasn't protecting myself. I was just there, present, real. And then you were gone. It confirmed every fear that when I finally let someone in, they'll realize I'm not worth staying for. Shun was quiet. Then he did something unexpected. He sat down on the floor. David blinked. What are you doing? Changing the power dynamic. You have the higher ground. Shun looked up at him. I'm not going to convince you with words, so instead, I'll tell you what I'm willing to do. Shun, action 1. I'm going to show up every day. Consistent, reliable, present. David's throat felt tight. Action 2, I'll respect your boundaries. You want professional at work? We're professional. You need space? I'll give space. But I won't disappear. There's a difference between respecting boundaries and abandoning someone. Shun, action 3. I'll be honest about my own fears, like how I'm terrified I'll sabotage this, how the thought of you giving me a chance and me still fucking it up keeps me awake at night. David felt his eyes burning. Action 4. You set the pace. Slow, we go slow. Tell me to go to hell? That's your right. And if you want to trust me but don't know how, we figure it out together, brick by brick. David stared at him. Everything logical said, walk away. But he was so tired of being safe, so tired of being alone. Get up. Shun stood slowly, uncertain. David moved to the table, took a piece of sushi. It was from Yamato, that expensive place. That's a 40-minute drive. 40 in traffic. I left at 1:30. You really went there yourself? I couldn't trust delivery to get it right. Shun, hands in his pockets. I remember you said presentation matters as much as taste. David set the plate down, hands shaking. This is too much. It's a 40-minute drive. It's noticing I haven't been eating. It's remembering things from 3 months ago. Then don't process it. Just accept that someone noticed and cared enough to do something about it. Right now, I'm here. Physically, undeniably here. And I went 40 minutes out of my way because making you happy matters to me. Why? Because you matter. Somewhere between talking about AI ethics and falling asleep in my arms, you became someone I couldn't not care about. And yes, I ran. But I'm here now, trying to do better. A tear slipped down David's cheek. Shun's hand came up, hovering. Can I? David nodded. Shun's thumb brushed away the tear. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I hurt you. You're worth everything. Don't say things you don't mean. I mean every word. Shun's hands cradled his face. You scare me. This scares me. But I'm done running from things that matter this much. David gripped Shun's wrists. I don't know how to trust this. So don't. Not yet. Just give me time to prove it. And if you leave again, I won't. You can't promise that. I can promise this. If I get scared, I'll tell you. If I want to run, I'll talk to you first. I can promise communication, effort, that I will fight my instincts to protect you from them. That's not exactly romantic. No, it's real. I'm offering you reality. Messy and imperfect, but honest.
David studied him, flawed and scared and trying. I have conditions. Name them. We take this slow. No rushing, no pressure. Agreed. At work, we're professional. No favoritism. I earn everything on my own merit. Absolutely. You communicate. If you're scared, you tell me. I promise. And you have to let me be angry. Let me not trust you easily. I need time to heal. I know. Take all the time you need. His thumbs traced David's cheekbones. You're worth waiting for. David closed his eyes, letting himself feel it. I'm scared. Me too. What if it doesn't work? Then we tried. Shun's voice was soft. But I don't think we'll fail. I think we'll be messy and complicated, but I don't think we'll fail. How can you be so sure? Because I've never wanted something to work this badly. Are you willing to fight too? David opened his eyes. Everything screamed to protect himself. But maybe it was time to try something different. Yes, I'm willing to fight. Shun's smile was devastating. Thank God. Then he kissed him. It was different from 3 months ago. Less desperate, more intentional. This was the careful beginning of something that could last. David kissed him back, 3 months of anger and hurt and want pouring out. His hand slid to Shun's shoulders, pulling him closer. Shun's hands moved to his waist, and David made a sound that should have embarrassed him. They stumbled backwards, David's hip hitting the desk. Wait, David gasped. We should talk about Hendrix? Shun's lips found his neck. Yes, that's why I'm here. Liar. Teeth scraped his throat. You came here for this. Arrogant. Accurate, but you're right. We should talk. Really? You don't seem interested in talking. I'm interested in everything about you. Shun's thumbs traced their circles on his hips. But I need you to know, I want you. I've wanted you every day for 3 months. Having you here, finally letting me touch you again, it's taking every ounce of control not to lock that door. Heat pulled low in David's belly. Shun, but I won't, because you said slow, because you deserve better than me losing control on my desk the first time we're alone. What if I want you to lose control? Shun's grip tightened. Don't say things like that. Why not? Because my self-control is already hanging by a thread. David leaned back deliberately, watching Shun's eyes darken. Maybe I want you to forget. David? His name came out rough. We agreed on slow. We did. But maybe slow means we talk first, and then we see what happens. Shun stared at him. Then he stepped back deliberately. Okay, talk. That evening. Stay with me tonight, Shun said quietly, after they talked for hours. Shun. Not like that. I just want more time. Let me cook you dinner. No pressure. David should say no, should protect himself. But he was tired of always protecting himself. Okay, dinner. But I'm leaving after. Whatever you're comfortable with. Shun's apartment was minimalist, but lived in. Books scattered, photographs that spoke of memories. Shun cooked, looking domestic in ways that shouldn't have been attractive, but were. They talked about his marriage, his fears, why he ran. That night, David said, when you held me after, you traced patterns on my back. I fell asleep feeling safe. Was that real? Shun stopped cooking, turned to face him. It was real. That was the problem. I've never felt that protective with anyone. You fell asleep like you believed I'd keep you safe, and I wanted to be that person. It terrified me. David's eyes burned. So you left, like a coward. But I'm here now. If you'll let me, I'd like another chance to be that person. I don't fall easily. I know. That's what makes it matter. David pulled him closer. I'm going to hurt you, push you away, test whether you'll stay. I know. And you're okay with that. I'm okay with whatever you need to feel safe. That's what this is about. David leaned forward, forehead against his chest, feeling his heartbeat. I want to believe you. Then do, one day at a time, arms wrapped around him. I'm not going anywhere. Eventually, burning vegetables made them break apart. Shit, Shun muttered. David laughed, actually laughed. They ate dinner talking easily. When David looked at his watch, it was past midnight. I should go, he said, not moving. You should, Shun agreed, not moving either. I said I'd leave after dinner. Because you don't want to leave yet, and that's okay. That's dangerous. Why? Because I might not want to leave at all. Would that be so bad? David studied him. Maybe not. Stay with me tonight. No expectations, guest room, my room, whatever you want. And tomorrow? Tomorrow we wake up, have breakfast, figure out what comes next, together. David looked at their joined hands. This was fast. This was reckless. But maybe reckless was what he needed. Okay, I'll stay. Shun's smile was devastating. Yeah? Yeah, but separate rooms. Can I kiss you goodnight? You've been kissing me all evening. This is different. This is the kiss that says, I'll see you in the morning. The kiss that promises, I'm not disappearing before dawn. David's throat felt tight. Then yes, Shun did. Slow and deep and full of promise. And when they broke apart, David felt something he hadn't felt in months. Hope. The next morning, David woke to sunlight and coffee. For a moment, panic seized him. Then memory flooded back. Shun's apartment, dinner, staying. He found Shun in the kitchen, rumpled and domestic. Morning, he held out coffee, black with 1 sugar. You remembered. I remember everything about you. His smile was genuine. How'd you sleep? Better than I have in months. Good. He kissed his temple casually. Breakfast? You're going to feed me again? I'm going to feed you every chance I get. Shun's expression turned serious. Let me take care of you, David. I studied him. Why does this feel too good to be true? Because you're waiting for me to prove I'm the person you're afraid I am. I'm going to prove you wrong, every day, until you believe it. That's a big promise. I know. Watch me keep it. I felt something shift. Not quite trust. That would take time. But possibility. Real, tangible possibility. Okay, I said softly. Prove it. Shun's smile was devastating. Challenge accepted.
4 months later. The presentation went perfectly. The clients loved it. As people filed out, congratulating him, David caught Shun's eye. Shun's smile was proud, but he kept his distance. Professional at work. Later, David's phone buzzed. Brilliant. Celebrate tonight? Your place or mine? Ours. It's ours now, remember? David smiled. Ours. I like the sound of that. Me too. I love you. I love you too. See you at home. Home. The word didn't scare him anymore. David headed for the elevator. When the doors opened, Shun stood there, clearly having timed it perfectly. Congratulations, he said softly. Thank you. David stepped out, letting his hand brush Shun's. See you tonight. Can't wait. David walked to his new office, his name on the door, and sat down. Through the window, he could see Shun's office. They caught each other's eyes and smiled. Then both got back to work.
His phone buzzed once more. Shun, proud of you. Always. David's chest felt full. David, couldn't have done it without you. Shun, you could have, but I'm glad you didn't have to. David, me too. I love you. I love you too. Now get back to work. Standards to maintain. David laughed and got back to work. 4 months ago, he'd been terrified. Today, he was just happy. 1 year later. The elevator doors opened on the 42nd floor. David stepped inside, balancing coffee and tablet, exactly like a year ago. But everything was different now. Hold the door. David's hand shot out with a smile. Shun stepped inside, also balancing coffee, tie already loosened. Morning. They stood in comfortable silence. Then Shun's hand found his, where no one could see. Big meeting today. You'll be brilliant. You always are. You have to say that. You're my boyfriend. I'm saying it because it's true. Though I should mention, Janet from accounting told me people are running a poll on when we're getting engaged. David nearly choked. What? Apparently, we're disgustingly domestic. Shun's smile was amused. Jenny from PR has money on next month. And what do you think? Shun's eyes met his. I think that when it happens, it'll be perfect timing. No rush. Just when we're both ready. And are you? Ready? I've been ready since you moved in. Since you stopped looking at me like I might disappear. His voice dropped. But I'll wait as long as you need. What we have is worth any wait. The elevator chimed. 42. What if I said I'm ready too? David asked quietly. Are you? Maybe. Ask me again in a few months and see what I say. David Park, are you telling me to propose? I'm telling you, I'm not scared anymore. Of this, of us, of forever. David squeezed his hand. So, whenever you're ready, I might say yes. The door started to close. Shun stopped them, staring at David. I love you. I love you too. Now, get to work. Tonight, dinner, that place you love. We're celebrating. Celebrating what? Everything. Us. The fact that a year ago we got a second chance and didn't waste it. David smiled, genuinely, completely. Sounds perfect. He stepped out, and just before the doors closed, he turned back. Shun? Yeah? Thank you for coming back, for staying, for proving that some people are worth the fear. Shun's smile was soft. Thank you for being brave enough to let me. The doors closed, and David walked to his office, knowing with absolute certainty that he'd made the right choice. Taking the risk, opening the door, letting love in. Some elevator rides changed everything. This one had saved him.
Appreciate you watching. Hit subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next story.